What are we supposed to do when the world becomes too much? When you're inundated with these pieces of footage of horrific crimes against humanity and in many ways being screamed at to consume the information. You find yourself spinning around and around and around thinking that if I learn more and if I see more, it's doing something. Somehow it's providing a solution when it's not. I remember when 9/11 happened, and I remember watching the footage over and over and over again, thinking that if I watch it, it's gonna do something, and it didn't do anything other than provide more horror. But I also remember in my art class, my teacher, bless her for having the wisdom that she did, she assigned us to create a piece of art, and the art was supposed to be in dedication to 9/11. There were specific things that we had to include, but for the most part, we were given freedom to do whatever we wanted. And I'll never forget that, because I remember looking at all of my classmates and what they created and how healing it was to see the expression of pain and at the same time the expression of peace and hope portrayed in art. So much of the time when these things happen, we feel powerless, hopeless, and helpless. But we're not, because you have a piece of art to bring to the world. You have a healing balm to bring to the world, and you may not think that you do, but you don't get to determine that. You're going to get criticism. There's always going to be somebody who's going to say something, but that's just the way that it is. Those are humans being humans. But this is my encouragement to you to put your art out, to use art as an expression, to maybe somehow provide relief or release to someone. And when I was sitting down thinking about this, I was thinking about the power of music. I was thinking about the power of lyrics and how much healing art brings to people in time of hopelessness and helplessness and powerlessness. Because when you turn on the news or when you're on your phone, you're thinking, we are not doing well. And we're not. But there still is hope. We still have art to use as an expression to maybe provide someone with a moment of relief and release. I understand these questions of why should I share my art, or how could I share my art or my music in a time like this when the world is imploding and burning down and fill in all the things. That's exactly why you should. It's because the world is hurting. In times of great despair, that is what people need, is hope. When you look at Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, he said that the difference between the people that survived World War II in the camps and the difference between those who didn't were the ones who had hope. When I was thinking about doing this video, I was reminded of this story of one of my favorite musicians. Her name is Brooke Fraser, and years and years and years ago, she went to Tanzania. She had a sponsor child there and was visiting her. They were sitting in this mud hut in the middle of Tanzania. The sponsor child had two brothers. While Brooke was in this mud hut, the two brothers came in from mining in the Tanzanite mines. They had dust all over their faces, and they asked her to sing a song, so she did. And after she had sang the song, she got a little bit embarrassed and put her head down, kind of looked away, and one of the brothers said to the translator to say to Brooke, no, please don't stop singing, because your voice is very soothing, and when you sing, it helps us forget about our troubles. And this is what art does. It surpasses intellect, it surpasses politics, it surpasses religion, and all of these things that humanity so easily becomes divided on and starts wars over. This is where art comes into play, and this is where art is desperately needed. Where we are at this point is everybody is tormented. Nobody knows what's going to happen. People are scared. People are depressed. They're lonely. And so this is my ploy to you. This is my encouragement to you to share your art with the world, to share your music with the world, because you don't know how much it's going to affect, in a good way, the people that are suffering. As you know, and as I know, we are on information overload. We've had enough information. We've seen enough videos. But what we need now is art more than ever. We need music more than ever for people to find relief relief. And just like those boys in Tanzania, to have a moment of forgetting about their troubles. What humanity needs is that reminder that maybe not today and maybe not tomorrow, but eventually it's going to be okay. Because that is hope. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. So if we do not have hope, we don't have anything. This is where art comes in. This is where music comes in. This is where creatives and artists and musicians are desperately needed. This is the hour of the creatives. If you are one, please, please, please be encouraged and put your art out into the world. Put your creative expression out into the world, because the world is desperately needing people to do what lights them up, to do what gives them joy. We are surrounded by a lot of people who are joyless, and it's understandable. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of uncertainty, and all of that is valid. This is why I have realized recently how important it is for artists to be out there in the world. And you think about the OGs, think about Bob Ross. You and I both know that every time we sit down and watch an old episode of Bob Ross, it's equivalent to 10 therapy sessions. And why is that? It's Bob doing what he loves, and at the same time providing you comfort, providing you ease, providing you relief, a moment of forgetting about your troubles. My encouragement to you is don't be afraid to put your art out there. Put it out there and let the world decide whatever it is that they want to do with it. It is for such a time as this. This is where art becomes the healing balm that humanity so desperately needs. And to know that if it helps one person, then you've done your job. This is the gift and the balm and the beauty of being a creative, of being an artist. Your effect on people is far greater than anyone will ever be able to measure. We need your art. We need your creativity. We need your artistic expression. And I hope as you are watching this, you are getting your paintbrushes, you are getting out your guitar or your piano or your pen and paper, and you're going to put pen to paper. You're going to write the song or put the song out, and trust that that is enough. If it provides one person with a moment of relief, then you've done your job. And I thank you for being here. And as always, you are worthy of living a beautiful life. And I believe in you.